Hi guys, my name's Dean, and for anybody that doesn't know me, the reason I set up this channel was to basically raise money to buy land and hopefully plant a redwood forest, amongst other things. Today I'm going to show you how to fit soffit boards, and here are some of the tools that you're going to need should you decide to take it up as a trade. You're going to need a tape measure, a bevel, a square, a drill and a jigsaw, especially if you're going to be cutting multiple soffit boards. The first thing that you need to do first is fit the starter trim. It's called a starter trim because it is the first thing that you fit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some screws in the side of the board first. Basically this will help with the starter being able to sit on top of something instead of just trying to screw it and it's dangling on the floor, because what will happen is it will sag or it'll kink. So I'll get the soffit board on here, the starter, sorry, on here first. What I do is get it level with the edge. First, just make sure that when you are putting in screws that they're not too wide apart. You might be tempted to save on a few screws, but it is better if you put them so far apart, because there's no sagging that way. Okay. Just mark that end off. Oh. Lost me. Thought I had almost every tool in my pouch. So basically that's how you fit the starter trim. There's nothing to it really, it is pretty simple. It does help if you've got someone to help you as well, but if not, you can always tuck the starter trim over the landline cable that's run into the house, or a satellite dish, to stop it from kinking. Okay, the first bit I intend on doing is just to do the box end first. So measure the box end. Mine is just under 36.5 centimeters. Another tip as well, always make sure that you've got the soffit boards facing in, so when you do cut it with a jigsaw you don't mark the soffit board. Just get this marked. I use an aluminium cutting blade. These are the blades that I use. Basically, I find when I use these, it does cut through the soffit board a lot better without splintering the wood, the soffit board, sorry. So you do the box and just tuck the soffit in slightly. Make sure you've got it flush, and then basically mark there first, and then bring it round to the side, and then mark there, if you can see that, and then you're left with 2 marks. And then what you do is your first mark, try and get it as neat as possible for the cut, and then what you're going to do is you're going to cut that out. Just see if this fits first. You just need to take just a little bit more off. Just a little bit more. Better. What I tend to do is I always tend to put screws in. Basically, this will stop any movement when you put it in the next board. Won't push it out. Right. What I'm going to do now is obviously remeasure, because basically the box end part is longer than this part, so I do need to remeasure, which is 24.5 centimeters. These really are really simple to fit. It is just a matter of sticking tongue into groove. It is as simple as that. Okay, the first one, we just pull down the soffit and you just put it in at an angle, and then basically just push it together, making sure there's no overhang, and then just repeat. So again, just make sure it's level. A lot won't agree with how I'm doing it, but this way's worked for me for over 10 years. need to cut about 4 or 5 more. So once again, pull down the starter, get the first part in, push your finger along and basically slot it into the groove. Pull it down, run your finger along and push it into the groove. Oh. Just be careful when you are pushing into this, because if the drill bit slips off the screw, you can actually push it through the soffit board. And how do I know that? I've done it before. No, I think I've done it. I've lost count how many times. So the long piece I cut earlier, I was hoping it would be like this, but at least I can show you this now. Okay, so you want to cut the board for here. So basically slide it in here like that, make sure it's seated properly, and then just mark the end like that, and then basically move it round to here so it's completely flush with the top, and then mark it there. So basically you've got that, and wherever that was, oh there you go, there. So use your square to get a nice straight line. And then basically that bit there will be scrap. I do need to put a piece in there as well. What I do need to do now, because I've got a little bit of a overhang, just basically run your pencil over this bit and just a slight piece at the back, because you do want these flush, so your fascia board will sit nicely. I've got that to cut out and that little bit there, and then it should be quite flush. Another trick to get the right length for the starter trim, just to do that. And then just get your UPVC snips and just cut that off. What I'll do first is I'll get this screwed on. Make sure it's nice and level. And then hopefully this will fit nicely. I am again with the screws. And that basically is how you fit soffits. It is pretty simple really. Now we're going to move on to the apex side. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on the apex and then get the soffit on. And then obviously we'll move around to the next side. So okay, I already know from that one end to the middle it's 138 centimeters, and 138 centimeters from there to there, so I've already got that measurement. So what I'll do is I'll measure 138 centimeters. I can get it to stay on, which is there. I really hope this is right now. I'll just kill the starter. What I'll do is I'll cut this off. So that's half now of the apex, and what I do, I tend to cut the back and then cut that piece as well, and I really hope this is right. So that's what I've done. I've cut it, but I've left the underneath. So when I do put it underneath, the reason I do it like this and leave this bit here is because I don't like to see the breaks. I do like to do it in one complete piece. I think I might have to. I've just been stabbed with something. Yeah, it is slightly too long. What I tend to do is just cut the back off. So when you do, it is quite flush, then just cut the back off if it is too slightly too long. Again, always make sure that your screw gaps are not too wide apart. The screws I'm using are 25mm and they're relatively cheap. They're about £4 a box for 200. Again, same on this one as well. Just cut the back off. And then it'll fit flush. The reason I don't screw these straight away is because when you're trying to get the soffit board in, sometimes you do need a little bit of extra movement, just so you can get the board in. Okay, so to measure for the soffit board, again, it is the same as what I did on the side. Okay, I'm really hoping this works, because otherwise what I tend to do is bend the soffit and then basically get it in so it's like that. I don't know if it's my OCD or what, but I don't like the breaks where you just join them together. I like to get everything so there's no breaks and it all looks nice and flush. Again, and here I am again with the screws, just to hold it in place. Just don't want it moving. Put one there as well, just so it doesn't move. Again, pull the starter down, push your finger across. And whack another screw in. Oh, there you are. So again, pull down, push in, and push it into the groove. Make sure it's flush as well. Put another screw in. Okay, basically I need to cut this one down, so basically turn it over so the tongue is facing away, and then look to see where the tongue is, where it ends, and then when it stops moving, just mark it. And hopefully it fits nicely. Okay, now I know that fits perfect. I can get a screw in there now. I was going to say it fitted before. Oh, there we go. And then basically put another screw. Just be careful when you're pushing the screws in, because if it slips off, it'll smash through the soffit. Lost count how many times I've done that. think it'll be slightly different on this side because I use the overlap there just to make it seamless. Whoop. Wrong way. Again, when you're doing this, just turn it round so the tongue is facing the other way. And then basically mark yeah. Looks like it's going to fit perfect now. And that's that. Oh hey guys, all the soffits are on underneath now, or the UPVC soffit. The next stage is to get the fascia boards on. This is the end of the video now. What I'm just going to do now is just take you around just to show you what I've done today. There's the soffits all up the apex as well. Just take you around here quickly and then that'll be the end of the video. As I always keep saying and asking, if you do like the video, please like and subscribe. Again, it is going to a good cause, as I always keep going on about. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Alright, bye bye.